run on the gas, is that correct? You know, that also, I believe, includes taking care of your cooking equipment. I'm not sure about the science labs, I'm not sure about that. You know, so that would be potentially, that 264,000 isn't everything. That could get drastically reduced if you were to think about the fact of possibly keeping, you know, equipment mothballed for a potential change back to oil or an emergency change over onto oil. Just something else to think about. So it could be far less than even that. I do very rarely, but I do get involved on the electrical end with different energy rebate and energy efficiency programs. And usually it's figured that if you can bring a project where it becomes cost neutral within a 5-year period, it's usually considered a good deal. This thing here, you could literally do within a couple of years.
Is there a market for the 2 brand new oil burners that we be pulling out of our new hot water tanks?
I haven't explored that at all. I just wanted to get a price before the new burners in. Depends on how they're rated today for efficiency as compared to the new equipment. Because if someone's going to go through the expense of putting in a new burner, they're going to want to be sure it's the most efficient way possible.
No, so I would just like to see us cut it down to 2 or 3 years, expand this out.
Would this reduce our HVAC as well, as far as our costs for
No,
maintenance?
don't forget, this provides the heat to the HVAC.
But as far as maintenance on the HVAC? Now, you mentioned in your presentation earlier that our HVAC costs were up significantly. Services.
I think that as we look at the HVAC costs, remember, this will only supply a hot water system that circulates, and it will not do anything else to the system.
Can we change out our buses too? What's that?
Actually, there are states that are going after that.
Did it where I work.
But you are going to have savings out from the boiler aspect of it from the HVAC.
We're probably going to, a couple of things will save money on. The first one is that you have to have the boilers cleaned frequently because of the use of oil and the soot in the boilers, because you get the soot out that allows a more efficient transfer. So that you usually clean it every 2 years. So if I'm not mistaken, the cost of that is around $11,000, because you have to take them apart, vacuum everything out, and it's the type of job that is, the employees who do it usually get premium because it's a filthy job that nobody else wants. So that alone would provide some additional savings.
So our action here is we have to have a motion for the board to go to public hearing or district meeting?
We go to a district meeting to approve the note. I don't know what Mr. Larson would need to go forward with the gas company. And that would be my question.
I think in a perfect world, we would get some sort of vote from the board as to whether or not to continue the pursuing of this. You know, we on the Board of Selectmen have to do the same thing because it involves borrowing. You know, nobody wants to spend all kinds of time on it unless we know that, yes, there is an interest in the project. And I know I personally would like to, you know, get some sort of a show from the board whether or not.
And we can do the formalities after we get closer to the funds.
Yeah, well then we'll have, everybody will have solid, real numbers. But, you know, again, we're trying to move forward, and we can't move forward unless we know that, yeah, everybody is on the same page wanting to move forward. That's really where
Is
we're
there
at.
any commonality in the provider that we're buying oil from, the kind of fever, is it all the same vendor?
Same vendor,
So we don't have to get the word from the horse's mouth first to see if they're gonna give some sort of or if there's a,
Well-
I mean, if you guys can get out of it or change it, then
Yeah.
we should be able to do it as well.
That, at this point, apparently there's been no inclination, but the other thing is, you know, looking long range, their contract is only for 1 more year. This deal, if it doesn't happen, whether or not we would ever be afforded this opportunity down the road, I don't know. You know, so sometimes you gotta spend a little money to save a lot of money down the road. And I know I personally looking at, you know, long-term, this makes sense not only for us as taxpayers, but for us as being people that live on this planet and concerned about our environment. You know, we are always hearing about our carbon footprint, you know, what we're doing to our environment and burning oil and burning this and that. Anything that we can do to help to make it a cleaner, safer world, I feel we owe to our constituents. And, you know, that's why we're, right now, Hebron's going on with the solarized CT program. You know, we're doing what we can to try to offer people choices to move away from, you know, oil, from fossil fuels.
So if I ask the board to, for a motion to authorize the superintendent of the district to continue to work with the Hebron Board of Selectmen and study the feasibility of a conversion to gas, would that be sufficient enough to go back? Is that,
Yes.
I think the other thing is we're asking for a motion here to,
this was if we were gonna make a note. This
We still do
district
this.
here. I'm sorry?
I mean, we're gonna do a note anyways, right?
No,
Well, I mean, eventually we will, we're gonna be terms, but what they said was they're too far away from knowing what that obligation would be and what it would look like for us. So what will happen is we continue to go forward, there will be, at some point, we'll have the true costs, and we'll know what it's going to be, you'll know the terms of the bonding,
Mhm.
and then what they wanna pass along to us, and then whatever that portion of that you wanna pass to us in the terms, we'll take to the district meeting.
as I say, we are anticipating that this is a completely, totally cost-neutral event for Rham.
So it would be premature to go to a district meeting if we don't know the terms, the amount. I mean, the changeover can be done by the board by authorizing the contract to get with them, which is the tricky part with the public investment in the infrastructure and all that other stuff. And us changing over and being able to make it cost neutral is dependent on what they're able to do.
I guess we just gotta be careful with the bond. I guess the bond.
Well, that's why I asked if
We're
that
not
was
certain
okay,
about the
because if
bonds.
not, then we'd need a motion to go to district meeting. I don't think we have any terms yet or anything.
Correct. No,
I mean, and if
we're
something
going to the
happens
gas
next
company
week, you need us to
personnel,
get together.
that gives them an idea that, yes.
Can you just,
Yeah.
excuse me, with the mention of the terms, I'm hearing that the terms are, we have to come up with what we want to convert, and then that's it really, because what
Correct.
I'm hearing is that people is gonna absorb any interest costs.
Correct.
So it's just, for right here, it's 264, but we're not, maybe not gonna do that because we're not tank removal and stuff, but I'm thinking the only thing that we're, we would be going to district meeting on is to finalize and to borrow the money from Hebron, but we're not paying back any interest, right? So-
Correct.
Yes, that's my understanding, like, we're just paying back this bottom line principal.
Yeah, the indication, at least from this note, the way I'm reading it, is Hebron has an indication of about, what, 2 point something over 10 years, I think
Yeah.
is in the note here. So,
We're not paying any interest.
No.
Right, that's right. So do we have, what other information do we need to go to district meeting?
they need to finalize the interest of what it's gonna cost to do the conversion. We have to look at the oil companies to see if they're going to back off, or if they're gonna make us hold us to another full year, so that we can explain to everybody and all the towns
What the
what we're
overall
converting to gas.
cost
So
of
we
it.
have 100,000 gallons of oil that we have to buy next year, which, because to make it budget neutral, technically, we may have to eat some costs next year then. may make it harder to make it.
This could go to 400,000.
I've read this a couple of times, and I've been confused about shipment goods. Why we need to go to,
Because we're bonding the district to a guarantee.
it has a not to exceed amount. It doesn't say any number in here. What's the board policy that states that we, as a,
The amount that we, if we exceed the $500,000, we need to go to a referendum. That's what
We go over 500 now?
Yeah.
There's no indication.
No, there is
So we
no
don't have to go to
indication.
district.
that's my point.
That's why I asked him that question, because he asked me what he asked me if it cost me, and I told him about the 264. He said, fine, you're within all the limits that you need to be.
Okay, so we go over 500,000, or at 500,000.
If it's more than 500,000, we've got, everybody's got some serious soul searching and looking.
And why did we prepare this to go to district meeting?
I'm sorry?
Why are we going to a special district meeting?
I
At
just asked him to
260,000.
prepare the motion for a district meeting, just, and I handed out to you some information, so that if we do go to the district meeting, that would be the motion the board would have to pass to the full district meeting.
We can disagree on that. We can talk about it another time, but I was given a presentation that this was required to go to a district meeting.
Yeah, no, what
We're
I'm
going to
saying-
bond the district to decide.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is, if this is the fall of the district meeting, the board would have to pass this motion in order to have a district meeting. And then I have another motion that's multiple pages that would have to be part of this.
We can take it offline, it's another discussion. I know how to get to district meeting. My question is, am I obligated by law to go to a district meeting for a $260,000 obligation to the town of Beaver?
Yes, you are.
I am obligated. I thought it was 500,000.
You got the word referendum versus district meeting.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So do we have a motion to authorize the superintendent to continue to collaborate, work with the town of Hebron in the converting the district to natural gas from oil? Motion made by Manny, second by Bruce. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll continue on with our agenda, going back to item number. Okay, I'm sorry, please, you're free to go. I don't say that, but go ahead, if you need a few minutes to break down, you can do it.
no, we're all set.
Thank you very much for
Really
the
appreciate it.
opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Item number 5, discussion and possible action regarding the 2016-17 proposed operating budget. So the normal course of action here is for the board to have a motion to send to referendum. District meeting. A motion made by Dave, is there a second to send the 2016-17 proposed operating budget to district meeting? Is there a second? Second by Tom. Any discussion?
Can I just ask a question? So this is the second or third year we're funding the SRO. I'm just wondering, like, is this a done deal? Like, I mean, we funded it last year, and it's just money being spent on other things at this point. So are we sure that money is, we're gonna get an SRO?
I think we have a agreed proposal, Bob, is that?
Well, I've submitted to Mr. Tierney a contract for the SRO that's been in place, that represents, somebody called me, Chick, that represents the district's willingness to do it. And if you would recall, let me see if I have the correspondence here, there was a correspondence in September from Mr. Tierney asking for that team to the SRO to be postponed for further discussion until January, until December. And then in December, he indicated that the SRO wasn't feasible at that particular time because they were using the state police and the state police that's the reason they put on hold. I very much favor an SRO, given the circumstances in which we live. And I also want an SRO so that we can help us, the surveyors or point us in the appropriate direction of getting the activity that we need.
I think you're misunderstanding my question. It's not about whether or not an SRO is a value or not. It's the funding for the SRO, and this is the second or third year that we're funding an SRO, and it hasn't come to fruition, so I don't know if it makes sense to put $91,000 into the budget for an SRO when we're really no closer to it than we were last year.
I think we're a lot, we have a proposal.
You know, one question, because I think that the real change in the SRO is we're going to be using a human constable. We don't have to have the state police involved. We will be contracting with the town of Cleveland or contracting with the arrangements to lease it off for a period of time. And that allowed us to go forward because there were just two agencies involved, the town of Cleveland and school district 8.
And the 91,000 number was the number that came back from Andy as to what the cost would be.
That was the agreement from last year.
No, this is from December.
I guess we haven't,
I thought last year was constable, remember they were here, the two constables from Hebron, right? So how was that different than this year?
It's what Bob had mentioned, there were several meetings where Andy had indicated there were some issues with the state police providing it. There was a concern that he had of being able to provide the officer through as a constable. He was trying to see if we could work it out through the state police. They had the state police here, but it was only for, what, three days a week, Bob, I think it was.
It's for a number of hours. I have this continuous letter from December 16th. As promised, this letter is written in response to regarding the school resource officer situation during high school. On November 24th, the staff attended a joint meeting with other municipal leaders, Senator Kathy Osteen, the state police commissioner, regarding the state trooper program and its rising cost. The news was not reassuring of a positive nature. The outcome, unfortunately, ties the town of Hebron's hands, and we find that we will be unable to provide you with even police officer at this time. Hebron would incur a tremendous liability with this provision, and numerous problems / issues should an arrest be imminent on school grounds, particularly if it involves students from Andover or Marlboro. The state trooper presence would also still be necessary in such a situation. As you are aware, town of Hebron officials are still discussing the utilization of the state trooper program. No definite decisions have yet been reached, and the town staff is providing different scenarios for their consideration and debate. As previously offered, one of those scenarios is Hebron's interest in sharing a resident state trooper for the 9 months of the school year. Utilizing the concerns raised with this suggestion by some of your board members representing the other two respective towns, this could also be an option for each to share one of their troopers. We are merely attempting to accommodate the range of requests. We feel compelled to inform you that should even decide to reduce our state trooper program to one trooper, this could be an additional problem for the district. The Rham board and staff decide a trooper would no longer be available to respond to issues on school grounds. A request for assistance or police presence would have to go through Troop K. I realize this is probably not the outcome you were hoping for, and I sincerely regret for this decision. Should the Rham board wish to revisit additional scenarios, the town of Hebron is willing to assist. What I did, we did this in developing the budget. Hebron, there are certain concessions that we need to make. And I'll get into those in a minute because if I might, this is Mr. Tierney's email from August 13th. Hi Bob, this email will follow up to our meeting regarding the state school resource officer. Presently, the town of Hebron is still working with Connecticut State Police to finalize a contract and secure actual budget costs. Senator Kathy Osteen and myself plan to meet with the commissioner next week. With that being said, the school resource officer remains on hold. For example, if Hebron were to reduce a one resident trooper, that would change the whole matrix on how police coverage could be supplied. I would anticipate agreement in final budget numbers within a month's time. The town of Hebron is open to an SRO and will continue to try to support adding one moving forward. I would ask at this time, please be patient
sent a copy of it.
And I sent you a copy of the proposed contract that I sent to Mr. Chairman. It's, yeah, it's, what it is, it's February 2016. The agreement for the school resource officer program is covered like this. I have two copies if anybody wants one.
I guess I'm just at a place where we're deciding the budget. We've seen contracts before, like we've had a contract for a school resource officer before, so I guess I'm just looking for assurances that we're just not budgeting $91,000 and it's, I'm not hearing anything that it's any closer to a, agreement.
Why don't you ask Mr. Tierney, since he seems to be kind of a roadblock in this whole process?
Because I'm talking to Bob.
But he doesn't have, he can't make any
Yeah, that's
guarantees.
through the chair.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
The issue, I guess the issue that I'm having here is that, we have $91,000 budgeted for this, but I haven't seen the numbers coming, and maybe they were in that contract, I just didn't see it. If he gets hurt, like, I didn't think this was gonna be a conversation about the whole SRO program, but if this person gets hurt, are we gonna be is their work gonna be replaced? Because I'm workman's comp?
I think that if you look at the proposal that was made for insurance, it was liability, workers' compensation, workman's compensation. So if the person is out for a prolonged period of time, we need to work on solving that problem.
So it's not solved that there'll be a replacement provided. If this person gets hurt, there's not a replacement.
excuse me, Bob, hold on.
Can I
Thank you,
just
please.
want to speak on behalf of Andy because
Thank
he
you.
couldn't be here tonight. Donna Lanza from the town manager's office, and I can speak on behalf of Andy. He has not been a roadblock in this process. He's been working very
I think they
diligently.
used the wrong word as a robot. I think he
Okay,
meant he's
but
the-
Andy is working with Bob Sininsky.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're coming close to an agreement on the contract. It will be presented, when it is in its final form, it will be presented to the Board of Selectmen for their approval. And we are working to provide an SRO for next school year. So we are much closer than we were last year at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On the contract that I had read, I was very concerned that Rham has no ability to say no to someone that's assigned to them.
And that was the initial proposal I had sent, and that's this document. And we do retain some rights over it. So,
But when we get the final document, we'll see it, and we'll have to see it in proposal level and then come up with the final version of it. But I think that is on discussion of the budget, so.
I have one question on the budget, the sixth slide about the music teacher. Is that in or out?
that's part of the music teacher.
Okay, so it shouldn't be in reduction.
That's
listed as
see,
an added.
if you look at the
It says
footnote,
added, at the end, the point two is added.
I put it at the bottom of the slide.
I have a question. So, Bob, your presentation tonight for capital, I know we're talking about operating. This is all going to co-manage, so I have to bring it up here before we move on. So you have $184,000, if I added it correctly, for the capital budget. Why? I know it's not a significant amount, so why would we have two budgets for
The reason I looked at
$184,000?
two budgets is because when I prepared the initial budget, there were issues around the WIC and the state. And one of the things I wanted to be sure was to be paid this year was the track, and that's $130,000. And so if you look at, that's included in the operating budget, and then the other project is separate from the operating budget based on the property. Just because I didn't have recognition at that particular time.
So in the
I think we're not going to budget.
I just feel like it's confusing because to me, it's like we either have the track and rider, 184 in one budget, or we have everything in the operating budget. I feel like it's confusing. You know, in Marlboro, as we heard Mr. Shea during public comments, he mentioned that, you know, Marlboro, we're not used to seeing two. I know other towns are, but how do we explain, well, there are some capital in the operating, but we're voting on a separate capital budget? I think that's confusing.
I think you bring up a valid point, but the issue is that the board approved to separate this at the meeting in Marlboro. So we have the operating budget and we have the capital budget, or at least that's what's being discussed now, it's not the meeting. I don't think you can kill one and absorb it into the other. At this point, you have to change the action of the board.
I have a question. The board approved
400 and something thousand.
463, and I'm wondering why Bob's presentation didn't have that number.
Yeah.
One of our discussions was that was an approximate number, and
Well, that
I
motion was
understood my
specific.
question.
The motion was specific with a specific number of items. It included $20-something thousand in items that I considered not, or listed as non-capital, and that's why I voted against it. So that's an issue, because there was a 400 and something thousand, not 200 and 180. There was a $400,000 proposal or of items, specific items that were made in the motion that passed. So tonight, we should be taking, I know there was a presentation on $180,000 an item. There's a motion, and there was a capital budget that was distributed at the meeting in Marlboro, that tonight, the next item would be to send the capital budget to the district meeting, which will be as a separate referendum. It was 468 something.
As I recall, there was some talk of that just being a nebulous thing and some sort of placeholder, but
Right, that's how I understood it.
that's how some people, I guess, interpreted it, and it wasn't clear, it was, frankly, it was late at night, and, I don't think it was in the best interest.
Understood, and we had a vote on it, and I mean, it was long, it was late, everybody was tired, but there was a specific motion for $463,000 in specific items that were on the capital budget that was exchanged at that meeting, and it was given as an exhibit, if I'm not mistaken.
And that discussion was held that week, and that's when I was given the direction to go forward. Believe me, put anything you want, I thought it was doing what it was supposed to do.
So at the last meeting, he was asked to prioritize.
These are my priorities.
So he has prioritized this.
So 180, but the motion was specific, 460, section saying 68 to 463, right? Is that the number? 463.6. So,
So where are you with this? I mean, what is?
well, here we are procedurally. There's a motion on the floor right now to send a .28 operating budget to district meeting, proposed budget of 0.28%. I'll give you the exact amount, but that's what's happening right now. That's the motion that's on the floor. So we
We have a problem too. That was the board sent that to the public meeting that we just had.
Right.
And it wasn't brought up in public meeting.
Well,
The 463.
but that was the point of the hearing.
Right, we didn't bring it up.
District meeting.
Well, we didn't bring that up. If that was the motion we voted on, that's not what was discussed in the public hearing. Right?
So then you vote it down. I don't know what else to tell you, but I mean, procedurally, this is what was, it was your motion, Rich. You brought it
Right,
up.
the question,
Now,
are we in violation?
And the motion, well, are we in violation? The motion back at the Marlboro meeting was to send the $463,000 items to district meet, to the meeting we had tonight, to the hearing that we had beforehand. Bob put up $180,000 of prioritized projects. So, you know, the question is what do we do now? So we have a segmented capital budget proposal made by motions of the board that are now gone to hearing. Maybe all the items were not there, but they were there the night of the meeting. So if that's procedurally wrong, I don't know. I don't know if that's procedurally wrong or if we're not representing properly. Do we have to go to another district meeting? Do we vote it down? Or hearing? I'm sorry, I keep saying hearing.
I'm not sure, I'd like to, could we reset for a moment so I could get the minutes of the?
I would like to hear the motion.
if we could just recess, Kathy's got the back of the office, with unapproved minutes, so I'd just like to.
Yes.
If we could take a 5-minute recess,
But I would love
or
to.
10 minutes?
I think clarify a lot.
Yes, thank you. No, it's never.
Go to Providence, and then open it, stay here.
It's not so nice.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. And if they call it executive session, it'll be like, nice to have.
Okay, but again, if you want to leave it, of course, calm down, calm down. I don't even calm down.
Yeah, okay.
We're trying to get on game.
Yeah, they use a lot of it. I know a couple of guys that use it. Yeah. I was gonna say, do you like it? Can I ask you why you left home before?
So I took it and said, and then motion to say that we want to send.
I'm not surprised. You know.
Change the I wasn't really sure. And that's what we did.
Then all day you'll be. No, nobody does, especially. Oh, yes. You don't show up to the sad part, you're not gonna get another person to do it. You know, it's unfortunate you burn that, the law is like, hey, I'll just give you what you want in the pages, and I put you know, that extra, they never thank you. That's a joy, every time you write it. I did, that's why I'm driving, you see, you want to say, hey, Governor Dave,